I find a lot of folks in the space, they know their product and service so well. It's like that forest for the trees concept. They forget
Hmm.
what others don't know. And so when they start talking about it or writing about it or showing it on their website, they're doing it in a way that's so elevated that people trying to enter into the space is like, I don't know what this is.
Welcome back, everybody. Quickfire Marketing. I'm your host, E.T. Mac. We're taking it coast to coast with our in-house SEO expert. We got David on the line. David, tell me about yourself.
Hey, thanks, ET. Yeah, we are across the coast today. So I'm on the east side, you're on the west side. I've been in marketing and sales like my whole life. So 30 some years of different areas and domains of this space. And probably the last decade diving into SEO and digital and just really enjoying how you bring product and services to a mass market in such a bigger scale. My beginning days were outdoor signage, marquees, billboards, graphics, car wraps, all those things. So very specific type of marketing, but there was no ability to go deeper than what the client would read on the sign or on the truck or whatever. So this is a lot of fun because there's more interaction, depth of content. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, we have this thing called Skyscraper SEO, and we also have this other style called ranch style. Walk me through that. What does that mean for people out there that are like, what?
Yeah. So the term skyscraper SEO is a little older and it comes off of like everything. And as we develop and change and our industry morphs and the technology advances, we start finding new ways to approach delivering content. So at one time, the idea was create a massive page that talks on everything around this particular subject. Make sure that you cover it in such depth that if you think about it like a skyscraper, it's so tall and big that it stretches above everybody else's landscape. So you are the go-to place for that content. So it had its time, and it's not that it's bad now. But what we're seeing is with the ranch style, and of course, as a ranch is more spread out, is that you can do more because we can reach more targets. We can find a different audience by breaking up this big, towering piece of content into smaller, more digestible, maybe more approachable pieces that will then be more focused on a particular segment of that audience or a particular issue that that audience is dealing with. And this is certainly right in line with what Google's been telling us over the last couple of months. So many new things have came out. But even over the last several years, we want helpful, like really relevant, good content that echoes that searcher's query. And this is just a different way of going about presenting that to those searchers.
Yeah, I mean, Google's full of developers, and that's similar to kind of the shift from like monolith applications to the microservices. So, what are the advantages of Ranch? Because maybe they spent already a big investment in the skyscraper model,
Yeah.
but they're shifting to this, and they're like, what are some nuances they want to cater to?
Right out of the gate, you can imagine a big piece like that, it can easily be turned into ranch style. You can go through that and kind of break it up and see how it can be leveled
Hmm.
across a wider playing field. Some of the more important parts of ranch style, again, is being able to focus on a particular deliverable or specific aspect of the searcher's intent or the searcher's problems that they're looking for. And I think that's where the real hub of it comes in, is because man, when you can address a specific pain point that a user has, that's perfect.
Then, do you run the risk of kind of over engineering things?
So, from a buyer journey standpoint, this gives us like this hyper nuanced way of saying we know where you're at right now, and we can intimate that to you. So you go, oh wow, that is what I'm struggling with, and look, what we can provide you is a solution.
So that's a great point. One thing I'm thinking about, if you're setting up and trying to implement this, what is is there a template?
Right out of the gate, we have to understand the audience, deep awareness. And I'd say, first steps would be, reaching out to the sales team going, hey, when you speak to your clients, what are the things you're hearing all the time? What are the things that they bring to the table? And I think that will then allow you to develop a good content plan because that's where we start to understand like why are they here? And if you know your audience, we want to develop 3 or 4 key things that are going to really resonate with them. And then I'd say push that out. We want to show to Google and other search engines that we are not only catering to that particular keyword, but we're also hitting on those relevant ones underneath that. And that's going to help guide you where you go.
Those are some good tactics. There's keyword research, internal linking, backlink
Yep.
strategies, social media, email marketing, analytics. If I'm getting started in this, what are the most important out of all those?
Obviously, keyword research right out of the gate is most
Mhm.
important because we have to understand, what is the web telling us or showing us is getting the most traffic from a particular phrase or set of words. Another thing we didn't really touch on was that brand style allows you to really dive into some of those long tail keywords, phrases that may not be
Mhm.
easy to rank for in a bigger piece, but it allows you to really hit that niche specifically in an area that they need help with. So keyword research has got to be priority.
100%. So ranch style, very in vogue. Meeting your audience where they're at, answering the questions, getting in front of everything, leveraging all those other tactics you mentioned too. The dark side of digital is when you're in the conversation with your stakeholders and they're like, why aren't the numbers up?
Yeah. Well, a couple things could be at play. I find a lot of folks in the space, they know their product and service so well. It's like that forest for the trees concept. They forget
Hmm.
what others don't know. And so when they start talking about it or writing about it or showing it on their website, they're doing it in a way that's so elevated that people trying to enter into the space is like, I don't know what this is. So let's just get back to the basics. How do you solve their problem? Are you sharing that in a way that they're getting? Now, if it's clunky, hard to navigate, too deep, too shallow, all those things will distract. Information overload, that's a huge one. Of course, you better have a good team behind you.
What I've seen is the team is usually not that big. It's like one or two people.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the things that we rub up against all the time is either this team is too small, the budget's too small, they can't invest into what it's going to take
Hmm.
to get their SEO engagement rolling, or I mean, that's quite honestly to say to be effective online.
Yeah, we're super fortunate to be in a large team at expert marketing advisors, so we can pull
Yeah.
off a lot of the needed tasks and requirements. Hey David, this has been a great conversation, super insightful. You can find us wherever podcasts are found. David will have his LinkedIn and information and ways to contact him on as well. David, any final words?
Ranch style SEO. It's a great way to go.
Do you have a cowboy hat? Did you wear one when ranch style got popular? You're like, I guess.
I haven't, but I tell you what, that
Nice.
might be it.
Come on.
That might be, get myself a nice little what are those ties called? A bow?
Bolo
What are those
tie.
things?
Yep.
Bolo ties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bolo tie. Yeah, we'll get cowboy boots, cowboy hat, a bolo tie.
Right. Little tip of the hat.
Yeah, it's the tip of the hat. Ranch style, baby. That's how we do it.
I find a lot of folks in the space, they know their product and service so well. It's like that forest for the trees concept. They forget
Hmm.
what others don't know. And so when they start talking about it or writing about it or showing it on their website, they're doing it in a way that's so elevated that people trying to enter into the space is like, I don't know what this is.